Kids are in bed?
Kids are in bed.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 31 of The Kids Are in Bed. I'm Tim Severson, and this is Jenni Severson, and pink is her color.
Pink? Oh, you like my pink sweatshirt?
Yeah, where'd you get that thing?
Oh, you bought it for me.
How do you say
It
that
says
lake again?
Pakegama.
There you go.
I've been practicing.
Like a local.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really like this. It's soft.
Yeah?
It's very bright and summery.
Yeah. You look beautiful.
Oh, thanks. So do you.
What's new?
Oh.
A lot.
Jiminy Christmas.
We've done a lot in the last week.
It's called a staycation.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, let's
did all the things.
Let's go back exactly 7 days ago.
Okay.
7 days ago, we went to the state fair for the first time.
It was actually my second time.
Oh, your second time, my first time. And we saw Ludacris and TPain.
First time this year, not like ever.
Right. Yes.
Clarification.
First of the season. Let's not be ridiculous. First time ever. We saw Ludacris TPain.
Sure did.
It's funny.
Move, bitch. Get out the way.
Because we walked in, we got in there like right at 7, and we all stopped. We were with another couple, and we all stopped to go to the bathroom. And we were waiting for you ladies to get out of the bathroom, since the line is always longer. And they were like, had like house music going, and it hit 7 o'clock, and there's a shift. And it was like, are they going to start right away? And I'm like, they can't. I'm like, TPain doesn't go out to a cold crowd. I'm sure they'll have like a DJ for 15 minutes or something. And TPain just came walking out. I'm like, I guess they're getting it started right now.
Here we go.
And we were floor seat. You've been to a concert at the state fair before. And I'm pretty sure your review of it was that not the greatest place. But it wasn't terrible. We were on the ground level. We were the floor, the concrete. We weren't in the bleachers.
Yeah.
I feel like metal bleachers have a lot to do with the sound.
Oh,
I thought maybe being on the floor, but it also could have been that it was hip hop.
Ludacris.
No, it was. I mean,
Ludacris.
it wasn't Ludacris. It was the artist guy.
No, I honestly think I didn't know who I saw. I had to.
Oh, the first
check
time,
in with my friends. I definitely have.
Who was it again? Toby Keith and
It was Toby Keith. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Eric Church?
Yeah.
Is he somebody?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who Eric Church is, like to this day, even though I apparently saw him in concert. I think my friends all wanted to go see Eric Church.
Yeah.
And he happened to be playing with Toby Keith.
It's so crazy, Eric Church, that he's such a successful musician when he comes from, a construction family. Like his family, like they built the first ones. That the last name?
Are you trying to make a joke right now? Because that was really bad. Like they built churches? Like what? Oh, that was no good, Tim. What was that? Anyways. So I mean that was, I don't know, 10 years ago or more.
Yeah.
No, it was like 20 years ago.
No.
15.
No, I think 10 is about right. I think it was like 2012, 2013 as I was going through.
Oh.
Because I talked about if you wanted to talk about it on whatever year of the podcast, you're like, I don't even remember who I saw. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, got it. So for the last 10 plus years, I've thought that going to a concert at the state fair is dumb and you shouldn't do it. But it turns out it just helps if you go see someone you like.
Yeah, that's... I would say that's great advice for all concerts.
I was like, don't go to see a concert at the fair. It really sucks. It's like, why did I go to a Toby Keith concert?
I don't know.
Yeah. Just trying to hang out with my friends, I guess.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
again, I don't think they went to see Toby Keith. They wanted to see Eric Church.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, but I do think you might be right that the floor seats the sound is significantly different.
Wouldn't say that your bad review of the venue is unique. I feel like I've heard that before. But it was great for us. It was an awesome show. Great weather, great seats, super fun.
Oh my God, it was so fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah. So we started, so that was a week ago. And then on Wednesday, I don't think we did anything. I got ready go for tailgate. Made up a bunch of burgers and stuff for tailgate, not knowing if we were going to be able to actually do it because of weather. We did. And then I was so convinced. I was watching the radar all day and I'm like, it's going to miss us. And so I decided to double down and just tell everybody it was going to miss us so that I had a chance to be a hero, but it backfired. It got rainy and windy and cold.
No, it didn't get cold.
It got cold for a second. When the rain came, like a cold breeze came, but then it warmed up.
Yeah, because I was soaking wet.
Yeah.
And usually that would equate to being miserable.
Right.
I wasn't miserable at all. I feel like it was so warm.
Yeah.
That I just
it was a fun situation. We brought the canopy down as low as it could go so that everybody that was there could fit underneath it. And we were just sitting under there listening to music and everybody holding down their corner so it didn't blow away.
I liked it.
Was very fun, yeah.
I thought it was super fun.
The game was terrible.
The game was fun.
The game was fun.
Until the final.
The outcome was
this last
predictable.
1 minute was no good, but the rest... The other 4 quarters were great.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun night, and then we decided. Well, then we got an Airbnb for the weekend locally that you found, and
Waconia.
In Waconia, on Lake Waconia.
This is when I found out the difference between Waconia and Wadena.
And if anybody would have asked me prior to last Friday how far away Waconia is from where we sit right now, I would have said about 25 minutes. Turns out it's a long ways.
It's like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
50 maybe.
Yeah.
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 It's cute though. Cute little town. Super cute winery.
We went to a vineyard.
Cutest winery.
Had a great vibe. We both commented that the crowd chatter was primo. It was primo. It was the jazz music and then like the small smattering of applause and but it was even when they were playing, there's just that light. It's like the tinkle of the glasses and the silverware and just like a good light chatter with a little laugh every now and then. Very good stuff. Very good stuff.
So good. We went boating.
Got out on the boat.
Did some more grilling.
Yep.
Fires.
Couple of fires.
You were taking excellent care of the fire.
Yep. Kept it stoked. Well, it's solo stove. Turns out that those are basically cheating. They're infernos in there.
So a weird thing did happen that I haven't decided if I'm going to blast on my review or not.
Oh.
But did I even tell you about this?
The owner of the Airbnb?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the owner. It was like the owner's family or something.
Yeah.
So they said that you could use any of the water stuff.
Yes.
In the garage.
Yeah.
And they had kayaks and canoes and a lily pad. And we were using the lily pad. We were on the lily pad for hours.
Yeah.
And then it just so happened that the kids were ready for a break. We were all up on the patio instead of down at the water. But I mean, we had been on it forever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, unannounced, no message, a man and a woman just come walking around
and took all the fun.
The backside, and she goes, we were sitting up on the elevated deck. Yeah. Elevated patio, I almost just said. We were sitting on the elevated patio.
Which was made of wood.
I forgot the word for deck. We were sitting on the deck. It's like a patio, but higher.
Yeah.
And then... and then they came around each side of the house. Woman on one side, man on the other. And she just goes, we're family. We're just getting up a couple of things because we're headed up north.
Yeah.
And she started walking up to the boat. Okay, well, when we were in Brainerd, like, I don't know, 4th of July, remember we forgot our sunglasses in our friend's boat?
Yeah.
So my brain was just like, oh, I bet she forgot her sunglasses in the boat.
Yeah.
Just like I did. She's going, she must have needed to get something out of the boat.
Yeah.
She walked down and just grabs the lily pad and lugs it, doesn't say a word, lugs it around the side of the house.
And as she was going around that side of her house, the man she was with walked around the other side and grabbed the kayak.
Walked
And I'm just like, what's happening? Is there a repo job going on?
What's going on? Wait, you weren't there?
Yeah, it was.
You were there?
Yeah.
When this happened?
Yeah. I was there.
I was just trying to tell the story.
Well,
like you weren't there.
Nobody else was.
I was like, did I tell you about this? And you were like, no, I was
Did you think the whole point of this whole thing was to tell each other stories that we haven't heard? They haven't heard it. They weren't there.
No, I forgot you were there for that.
I had just gotten there, like 20 minutes before it went down.
Anyways, so I haven't decided yet if I want to blast it on my review or if I want to send like a private message.
Yeah.
Because that is outrageous.
I think you send a private message because it definitely felt like a sibling or family member that maybe shouldn't have been there the way that it was done.
Because the next day, the owner needed to come pick something up, and she sent a message in the Airbnb app that said, I'm going to stop by.
Yep.
Alerted us that she was coming.
Yep.
Was in and out.
This reeks of like sister who, like I created a whole thing in my head.
Oh, no.
It's a family house. It belonged to their parents. They bought it, but only one sister bought it and has all the fun stuff. And her husband were going up to the lake and they're like, why should she have the lily pad? Let's just go get it. And they just came and took the stuff thinking nobody's ever going to say anything.
OMG. Well, so I'm gonna do a private message.
Yeah, a private message and start a little family drama in there.
It was a little,
We're rolling up on the holidays. This should be something that they have to deal with come Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah. Because it was fine because then we had a friend who brought a boat the next day.
Yeah.
But if we would have just been sitting there all day with no lily pad, I probably would have got pretty feisty.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get that way.
Yeah, I do. So that was fun. Then we went to the fair.
Then we went to the Minnesota State Fair.
We were there for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
We were there for so long.
Remember when we were there for 2 hours and we hadn't moved more than 100 feet from the front gate?
Well, we did a lot of things in those 2 hours.
Well, we did a couple of things. We got some deep fried pickles.
We weren't just like standing doing nothing.
No. Well, I mean,
the deep fried pickles.
The majority of that 2 hours was spent standing doing nothing in lines.
Not move much.
Yeah.
Well, it was a record-breaking day.
It was awful.
I think 5 record-breaking attendance days this fair cycle.
Yeah.
And 2 of the like lowest days in decades. Because I was there on Monday when it was like the lowest attendance since like the 80s.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a line to be found. It was delightful. Then
so many lines.
We stood in some lines. But the deep fried ranch was like the big talk of the fair this year. And we only waited in line for 30 minutes for that. I did.
Yeah, you got that at the very end.
Yeah. You waited in line for Martha's Cookies, Sweet Martha's Cookies, as long as I waited for the ranch.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, the ranch was good. Not great. I'd recommend it, but I don't think it's like, I don't know.
I enjoyed the creamy texture.
Yeah.
For sure.
The ranch, I think the first bite, I was like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the second one, I'm like, oh, okay. It just kind of starts to taste like cream cheese, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I think it is cream cheese.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah. Oh.
The ranch flavor just kind of goes away. You're not really getting an extra bite every time.
Oh, yeah.
Should have been dusted on the outside with Cool Ranch.
Ooh, now you're talking.
I know.
I thought it was delicious.
Yeah.
But nothing beats the pickles.
No.
The fried pickles are my
deep fried
favorite.
pickles, and I got the gourmet ones with the cream cheese in them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't really get a lot of food in because...
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
We just got different food.
That's true.
Yeah, we got the turkey to go.
Oh, yeah.
We got the French toast and the
We
peanut butter bacon
We didn't
pancakes.
get cheese curds. We didn't get fried green tomatoes. We didn't get... I suppose Clementine got a pronto pup.
Yeah.
We got the sweet Martha's cookies. I didn't get my nitro ice cream. But...
Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't a normal...
the time just got away from us.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we were there for almost 10 hours, but it went really fast.
Yeah, I think next year we go weekday morning and we go early.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can plan it out on either an especially hot day or a day where there's rain in the forecast and just plan accordingly.
Yeah.
And then just enjoy no lines.
We went on the Skyline. What's it called? Sky something?
Yeah.
We never did that before. That was fun.
Little gondola ride.
We went on the huge slide.
We waited
never
in
did
line.
that before.
We waited in line for 35 minutes for a 2.5 minute ride from one side of the fair to the other.
I will say that this visit to the fair this year has changed my mind about going to Disney World.
Yeah.
I thought this was our year to go to Disney, and I don't think it is.
No.
Clementine's poor legs.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time we did park really far
It's
away.
so funny. Clementine suffered in silence while Jude suffered openly
Yeah.
about everything.
Yeah. It was kind of a rough day for him.
Bees and
He started crying about the bees. Forgot about that.
got to cure him of
Yeah,
that.
Clementine was very stoic.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
I would say that.
She didn't know that she was making like whimpering noises.
Yeah, we had
So
a long
I
trek
kept on
back.
stopping
Yeah.
to be like, why don't we sit down? And she was like, I'm fine. And I was like, you're whimpering. And she was like, I'm fine.
But we saved $20 on parking.
We walked so far to save $20 and then drop $20 basically the second we walk in.
We
You threw away $20 worth of my chicken in a waffle cone.
Yeah.
I was so mad at you when
I
you
know.
threw that away.
I know you were. We parked on the street in St. Paul, not far from the University of Minnesota St. Paul campus. And when we were parking, we parked in front of a house that had a down tree branch in the street. And we were getting sunscreen on and getting ready to go. And an old woman, probably, 80. She was pretty old. Sorry, Mom. Way older than you. And she was kind of lurking. And I was like, oh, come on. Because I thought she was going to give us trouble for parking close to a down branch that was going to be moved or something. And she was very...
got hose. Sorry.
She was very sweet and German.
Yeah, she was so sweet and so German.
Yeah, and just was just chatting with us and told us that she's lived there for 30 years and has never been to the Minnesota State Fair.
Yeah.
And she lives
Not
5 blocks away from the entrance.
Not a once.
And so then we left and Clementine goes, when she walked out, I thought she was a Cowan.
She did say that.
I was like, I kind of thought she was
I
too.
thought she was a Cowan.
Yeah, and so at the end of the night, the reason I thought of that is at the end of the night when we were walking back, me and Jude were ahead of you. And he started just like, it was dark, because what time did we leave? 10? Fireworks went off, yeah.
It was 10:30 at least.
And Jude was like, what if that old lady is just like sitting there when we get back? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know. Like, did she have a rocking chair? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know. What if she was just like sitting in a rocking chair watching us? And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I just, we've talked about this before with Jude. Sometimes he gets into a conversation and you forget. And my brain was just like, oh, okay, we're doing this. Like, okay.
You forget what?
That he's not an adult. And he is, because his vocabulary is impressive. And so when he gets talking, and he's not distracted, he can hold like a legit conversation. But I just thought we were having fun. And I started and I stopped myself. I'm like, oh, never mind. He's like, what? What were you going to say? And I was like, I was just going to build off of your rocking chair idea, but I don't want to scare you. And he's like, you can't scare me. And I'm like, dude, I can give you nightmares. Like, it wouldn't take much help. And he was like, and so I gave it a beat. And I waited till we got to a little darker area. I'm like, what if she wasn't in the rocking chair, but she was like in her bedroom window, and you looked up and she was staring right at you, and then you looked to tell me, and then you looked up and she was gone, and then she was in the rocking chair, and then we got in the car fast, and then you looked out the window to see if she was still in the rocking chair, and the rocking chair is rocking, but she's not in it, and then I turn on the car and the lights go on. She's standing right in front of the car. He was like, okay, I'm a little creeped out.
Super creepy.
So that was how that ended. And then Monday we just kind of sat around and waited for today, which was Jude's first day of school.
Yeah.
And
what a week.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, Clementine starts kindergarten.
She sure does.
And I guess we can all place our bets. Do I cry tomorrow?
Of course you do.
Oh.
100%.
100%.
Yes. Bet my life savings.
Bet your life savings.
Yes, I'm certain. I think you're going to cry tonight when you're going to bed. You're going to cry yourself to sleep.
Well, that's just normal. It's just how I fall asleep these days. It's not. It was a great week. Mm-hmm. But was it a week as good as the year 2017?
I don't know.
We'll have to find out, because that's what we're talking about this week, Jenny, is the year 2017.
All right.
As we roll through, we're coming down now. We don't have too far to go. Just a
7 years.
7 years. At some point, I did the math, and I thought this was going to end right on our thing, but it's not, is it? Or is it? I don't know. Is it? Oh yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. It's only
September.
It's but it's only the third day of September. Feels like it's halfway through December or September already. So we'll talk about 2017 and see if it can displace 2015, 14, 13, 16. Oh yeah, 16 as our best year.
We kind of lied, didn't we?
Well, we went both directions.
Yeah.
We'll see if it has what it takes to earn the top spot. We'll just say that. So let's get in. We'll skip the news. We got a new president in 2017. So the 45th one. And Beyonce was pregnant with twins. I don't remember that at all, but against her Instagram post was enough that ChatGPT thought that was the number one spot for
Beyonce has twins?
Pregnant with twins via an iconic Instagram post, which quickly became one of the most liked photos on the platform. This is a great example
I did not know she
what
had
was going.
twins.
Yeah, right. This was the year that Fire Festival happened. Well, was announced and started, and then a bunch of rich kids just got stranded on an island. You don't know anything about that. There are two documentaries about it. It is great stuff.
Fire Festival. What is it?
So this guy started promoting with Ja Rule this giant music festival. It's on an island. You had to take like a private plane down there, and these going to be these bungalows, and it was going to be this exclusive thing. They didn't have the money. No artist showed up, but all the kids went, and then there was no water. There was no place to sleep, and a bunch of kids got stranded down. Kids, 20-somethings got stranded down there.
Never heard of this.
Yeah. Yeah, in the documentary, there was a guy who's like a part of it. He wasn't like an organizer, but, he was running the activities, and he said he would do a lot for some bottled water. A lot. Yes, he would suck a dick. Kendall Jenner had a Pepsi ad where she tried to do some like social justice. She basically, as I recall, the theme of the commercial was her and her beautiful face and a can of Pepsi. I can't remember if it was racism, something like that she was ending. And I think the thought was that it was going to be very profound. And it was just a Pepsi commercial that was just like, ooh.
Oh, no.
Yeah. This is Cash Me Outside, Girl. How about that?
Catch me outside. How about that?
On Dr. Phil. Bad Baby. She's now an influencer. I think she might do hip-hop music. She has an OnlyFans. She doesn't get nude on it, but like her OnlyFans, when she turned 18, that's when she started it. She made like an insane amount of money.
What did she do?
She was on Dr. Phil as like a troubled teen.
Oh.
As like a 14-year-old.
Oh.
And she was talking to the audience because they like erupted over something she said about her mom or something about how she lived her life. And she just yelled to the crowd, "Cash me outside, how about that?" Because she speaks with a very, I would say you'd call it like a classic Southern urban accent. She sounds like she's a black female from Atlanta, but she's very much not that. So it's a kind of a jarring accent to come out of a 14-year-old little girl. So that happened. Prince Harry got engaged to Meghan Markle.
Nice.
That worked out amazing in retrospect.
Everyone was fine with that.
We talked about the La La Land Moonlight Oscars mix-up last week, so we don't need to talk about that. Taylor Swift released another album, Reputation.
None of these things
I know.
are things I know.
I kind of knew that going in, but I think that really...
I know that Meghan Markle and Harry Windsor?
Styles.
I was like, what? Are married, but I didn't know they got engaged in 2017. That's wild.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know any of these things
I know.
you've just said.
So funny. Yep. You had bigger things on your mind. Like movies.
Like movies.
Ready for our movie games?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Box office. Remember, it's domestic. We had, for the top 5, which one grossed the most domestic in 2017? We had Wonder Woman, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, Beauty and the Beast, the live action, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man, Homecoming.
You told me last week never to bet against Star Wars.
Yep.
I'm not going to bet against Star Wars. I think it's Spider-Man, but I'm going to choose Star Wars.
This is why you married me, because it's Star Wars. It is Star Wars by a long shot, too. Beat all those other ones by quite a bit. But it was The Last Jedi. Not a great movie. You liked it, but
I thought it was fantastic.
yeah, I didn't like it.
I loved it.
Oscar Best Picture nominees. Do you remember what won that year?
Come on.
You don't have
Green
to
Book.
No. Oh no! Don't even try. I'll just tell you.
Moonlight, Spotlight. Are you sure it's not Green Book?
I'm quite. We saw this movie. Not in the theater, but we saw it on DVD. What won Best Picture?
The Shape of Water.
There you go. The Shape of Water. Strange movie. I'm interested to see
Guillermo del Toro.
Yes.
He is an interesting... His mind, I think, is an interesting place.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like it seems like he probably takes a lot of psychedelics, but I don't think he does. I think his mind is basically like on autopilot. He's basically like, he's tripping all the time. That's what it seems like anyway.
Sure does.
It's wild what he puts out there. So let's see if that would have held the top spot for you, shall we?
Yeah. Let's.
So there were 4 of the 9 movies I had not seen. So I'm going to start with those. Phantom Thread, which I don't know how I haven't seen because it's Daniel Day-Lewis. Have you seen that?
No, haven't.
The Post, which Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks. Can't believe I haven't seen that. And then the other one was Call Me By Your Name, which I think at the time I probably wouldn't have been interested in because I didn't know who Timothée Chalamet was. But now I really want to see it because I love Timothée Chalamet.
Skyrocketed him.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a big year that year. And then outside of that, the ones I did see were Darkest Hour, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Get Out, and Lady Bird.
Same. I saw the same ones as you, interestingly enough.
Yeah, but Lady Bird we didn't see together.
Who did I watch that with?
I'm pretty sure you watched that on a plane one time.
Oh, yeah. I actually loved Get Out. Loved it.
It's a great movie.
Which is very strange for me. I don't usually like gore.
Well, there really wasn't a lot of that, I don't feel like, until nearing the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't like super gory as far as horror movies go.
Yeah. So I liked that. I also don't like being scared.
The scariest part of that movie was how, what's her name? Allison, her dad was the...
Williams.
Yes. How at the end, how she ate her cereal. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
1 Fruit Loop at a time and then the little drink of milk. Like, what?
Some crazy white girl shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yikes. 3 Billboards. Final answer.
Yeah. Of course it is.
So good.
Of course it is. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe at some point that...
That's what I would choose to win.
Yeah,
I don't think we explained the game.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The Academy came to you, Jenny, and said, who wins this year? And you would say 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, because Frances McDermott's in it. So first of all, it seems like if she's in something nominated, she should probably just get it. It's probably a good bet. She's kind of like, she's up there in terms of trophies she's collected, eh?
Oh, yeah. She's at the head of the pack.
Is she?
Yeah.
More than Meryl?
Well, she has 3. And
Fargo?
Meryl has 3, I think. But
Nomadland and...
are all... Oh, maybe they both have 2 leading and 1 supporting. Oh, but Frances McDermott is the only woman who also has producing and acting in the same film.
Yeah.
Emma Stone could have done that with that really weird one.
Aloha?
Whoops the daisies.
The one we just watched recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Things, yeah. But Frances McDermott, I think, is the only woman who's ever won for producing and lead acting.
Yeah. But yeah, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. So her, and then one of my all-time favorite actors in, why am I forgetting his name?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell's amazing in that. Woody Harrelson's amazing in that. Peter Dinklage is amazing in that. It is a
so good
fucking movie.
It's so good.
It's so sad. I'm so surprised that you picked it. I thought for sure you were going to say that you would give it that, but it was too sad for you.
It didn't get me in the feels.
Oh man, are you kidding? Woody Harrelson?
Yeah, that didn't really get me in the feels. I got to be honest.
Man, that tore me up. I think it tore me up so much, especially when it came out, when we watched it. Because it was the first time I had a child. And so, they go out to the water with their daughters and they make them go fish and they have that day and he knows what he's going to do. And then he goes and does it. And that messed me up. Yeah, that movie is good stuff. Yes, I would agree with you, Jenny. I'm not really going to go too deep into movies because, believe it or not, there's not many that we've seen on the list.
We weren't really
Beauty
watching
and the Beast,
of
course, we've seen that with Emma Watson.
Seen it a time or two.
We just watched this year, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle with the kids. We talked about that on this already. Good stuff. The Rock.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
A+.
A+. This was the year that It came out. You haven't seen that. It's actually a pretty good movie. You might enjoy that.
Too scary.
I mean, you like to Get Out. I wouldn't classify it as too much more scary than that. A little more suspenseful, I suppose. Coco came out. We haven't watched that in a long time. And possibly another Fast and Furious movie I don't understand. The Greatest Showman, which not a big fan of that movie, but there's a song.
The whole soundtrack.
Yeah.
Actually.
The soundtrack is good, but Never Enough is... It's an all-timer.
Absolutely it is.
It's a good song.
Top 5.
Yeah. Can you sing it?
No.
Loser.
Why are you so mean to me? Why are you so mean to me?
That's it for movies. We're going to move on. Music, we had Shape of You by Ed Sheeran.
How's that go again?
I'm in love with the shape of you. Push and pull like a magnet too.
Sorry.
Sorry, Ed. I like it.
Unrelated. It was bad timing.
Let's see. This was also the year that the Chainsmokers were really popular with a couple of... They had that one with Halsey. How does it go? It was
they
Word
just...
Soup.
Yeah.
Baby, pull me over in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Bite that tattoo on my shoulder. Mattress that you stole from your roommate back in Boulder. It's just like, what is happening?
Well, so if you actually think about the lyrics,
yes,
it's terrible. But if you just sing it and vibe, it's fun.
If you do think about the lyrics, it makes sense because they moved and they've got a broke down SUV. They stole a mattress that's in the back. I get it, but it's just like, I don't know, something about the way that chorus kind of.
I like it.
This was the year.
I like Halsey too.
Oh, I love Halsey. The year that Bodak Yellow came out by Cardi B, I listened to that song.
How's that go?
Too much. Say, little bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to.
Oh, got it.
So yeah, there wasn't a whole lot in the way of music for us to really talk about. Because I don't think we really listened to a whole lot of music in 2017.
Well, we did, but it was probably...
The classics.
PJ Masks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I don't know what show. No, it's probably just the Moana soundtrack. That's all he was in. I don't think he was into shows yet that year. Yeah. Like, I think we introduced him to Moana, and then, like, it was like a couple of movies.
Yeah.
He wasn't really onto shows at that stage yet.
That's true.
We hadn't opened up that box.
Yeah. Anyways, because what were we doing in
We were taking care of our toddler, Jenny.
Yeah.
We had a toddler. So let's see. He wasn't a year old when 2017 started. He was what?
9 months?
Yeah. 9 months old. And he was a menace around the house, but a charmer for everybody else out in the world.
A menace and a charmer.
Yes.
That's a perfect way to describe Jude Bing.
Yeah. I feel like that's how people describe like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I wasn't trying to do that. I wasn't trying to do that.
Yeah, no, we went out and did so many things. Obviously, we were enamored with him walking because we have a lot of short videos of him just taking steps down the sidewalk or through the house or whatever.
So many videos of him walking.
Yeah.
He was so cute when he would walk.
Oh, for sure.
He would just and he had the one arm.
Yeah.
That didn't like swing at the same rate as the other arm.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I remember.
It was like a strut.
I don't think I noticed it until you pointed it out, and I remember getting worried that like, oh no, he's got something, he's not going to have a working arm or something's going to be weird.
No.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't take much for me
no, it's just his little strut he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he,
he's so sweet.
and as we comb through videos, he climbed on stuff all the time.
Oh,
he was
my
always up and
gosh.
down on everything he could. Anything that he could swoop one of his little feet up onto, he was getting up and climbing on it.
He was an absolute daredevil.
Yeah.
Like from the moment he could stand,
Yeah.
he was basically trying to dive headfirst off of anything he
Yeah.
could get up on.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, he was crazy. He would make messes everywhere. Remember we were remodeling the bathroom and he threw all the toys into the vent. And he really liked them. They were like those magnetic it was like a magnetic
animals.
farm. Yeah, barn animals.
Yeah.
And then when you put them on, they would make the noise when the magnet like covered up the sensor or whatever. Which that thing.
Two different toys.
Oh, really?
That was a puzzle.
Oh yeah.
These were just little magnetic. It was like
Oh yeah.
head, body, feet.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And we couldn't find them. And then one day I was just like, I know where they are. And I took a picture down the vent. And there was a ginger ale can and then a bunch of toys down there.
Where did he get a ginger ale can?
Who knows? It was a diet ginger ale can. So it was probably for a cocktail or something, right? And being a kid of the 90s and watching The Sandlot paid off. Because how'd I get those toys out, Jenny?
A vacuum.
That's right.
You did.
And I can remember saying to myself, the first time I felt a toy thunk to it, I said to myself, you got it. Pull it up.
You got it. Hold it up.
Like squints. So, but yeah, I got them all out of there. And I remember being so proud of myself that it worked. Because I remember somebody saying that's not going to work.
Who would that have been?
But yeah, that's just the stuff he did. But he laughed all the time. And he always wanted to like be a part of what was going on, you know?
Very Michael Scott.
Yes. He loved being a part of the joke. And there were a lot of videos I saw. He had a very early recognition of saying things and getting reaction. Mm-hmm. And you can see it on his face a bunch of times where he's like, oh, that was good.
Oh my God, he's addicted to it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so we spent most of our time just chasing him around and taking video and
So
laughing at what he
so
did.
Cute.
Yes.
There was such a shift from because 27. He probably started walking at like the beginning of 2017.
Just before, I think, he started doing like walk from coffee table to couch kind of deal.
Yeah.
On his own.
So 2016, we were just lugging him around everywhere.
Yeah.
Whatever we were doing, he was just coming with us.
Right.
And what we were doing was often going to bar and grills.
Yes, bar and grills.
But then once he started moving, that's when I feel like our whole life changed.
Yeah.
And so 2016 was tired all the time, and he was an adorable little baby, but he didn't really do a lot. Once he was mobile, I feel like it was it was a game changer.
Yeah.
He's on the move. He's so freaking cute. He starts talking.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, he was also...
So charming.
He also was very accident prone that year.
Yeah, he did get in a lot of accidents.
Almost lopped off his toe, fell off the couch and hit his forehead on the coffee table. He got a really bad ear infection. I feel like there's something else too.
He burned his hand.
Oh
on
yeah,
the fireplace.
burned his hand. Yeah, all those things happened. I think he might have also cut open his eyebrow at a Super Bowl party that year too. Like he was just constantly hurt because he was constantly.
He's just a daredevil.
going. But there was one week where we went to urgent care. Do we go to urgent care 2 times in 3 days?
I feel like it was the next year, though.
No, it was this year.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because it was ear infection.
Oh.
And I think it was after the toe, because it was summer. So I think it was toe, ear infection, coffee table, maybe, all happened in very close succession, to the point where our pediatrician, who's also a friend of ours, called you personally to be like,
texted me.
Oh, texted you. It was like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And of course, I was talking to my dad all the time, who's also a pediatrician. And I remember, running him through it. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, but maybe give him a bath just in case somebody stops by. It's just like, oh, shit.
Yeah. So the ear infection can't be helped.
No.
But the rest of it, I think, is a combination of his impulse and his lack of impulse control and pro-risk attitude, combined with a little bit of our casual parenting.
And our sleep deprivation.
I think those two things combined, like his adventurous approach and our casual approach combined to make a lot of injuries.
Well, it turns out that it's hard to keep an eye on a toddler when you're cleaning up an entire giant box of instant mashed potatoes that have been spread all over the kitchen floor. And he would do that, leave you to clean it, and then he would go, and then you'd hear something else.
He would literally just dive off of the couch.
And so I think that's partially why our house looks the way it does, because it's like you get conditioned. You're like, I can't clean up a mess until he's sleeping.
Are you trying to blame Jude for us being messy?
I will blame him for everything.
Well, before you, we were real tidy.
Did you get into the Cheez-Its?
We're gonna have to get the vacuum cleaner. Vacuum.
Hey, remember before we started toddling, you were talking about how clean our house was.
That is true.
Um,
That is true. All right, I might be on. I might get in on this. Yeah.
At least back then. That's what I mean. Back then, it's like, because if you didn't keep an eye on him, he was falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
Or jumping off of something, or throwing something off the loft, or whatever he was doing.
And if you didn't keep an eye on Clementine, she wouldn't move for 10 minutes.
No.
You'd be like,
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to give her an instruction.
Like,
You could
she
just leave her room and she'd just sit there and go, I guess I just wait.
just sit here.
They'll be back.
Someone will come back.
Pretty confident they'll come back. They seem to like me.
He's a little Tasmanian devil.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
The cutest Tasmanian devil.
that was the year I had one of the best days of my life, which was, you went to a bachelorette party in April. And
April.
April Fool's Day. It was the weekend of April Fool's Day. And
I don't think so. Whose bachelor was in April?
the same person who got married later in April that year in Stillwater. Yeah.
Sorry, friend.
You went there. That was the first time I was left alone with Jude. And
No.
Yeah.
I went to a bachelorette party in 2016.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was the time. Well, and I think it still happened on this time because then he was toddling. And so you would leave me alone with our son and people would be like, well, who's coming to help him?
Yeah.
And we'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Nobody. Because, like, I didn't go into this willy-nilly, like, what? And
It is funny. Every time I was away, people would ask where you went or who came over.
yeah.
It was always assumed that you were like going to a grandparent's house or something like
Yeah.
that.
So strange. But yeah, I took him to the U of M because it was warm that April Fool's Day. It was like 75 degrees.
Oof, that sounds delightful.
And that was back to like, it was always fun because it seemed like there was always like a new outfit to put him in. And so I remember I got him all dressed up in this green kind of plaid looking button up and jeans. And we went and we were just walking around campus. And it was so beautiful out. And we saw this guy had a dog, and Jude played with the dog. And then we were just walking around the mall. And then we were walking up to Northrop, and there was a sorority taking like their yearly picture. So it was an entire sorority of girls, all dressed up, all on the mall. And Jude could not be stopped. And remember how he'd wave like this? And he was just walking up the steps of Northrop to this group of 35, 40 college girls just, and they lost their collective shit because I had dressed him up. He looked amazing. And we had so much fun that day. I walked him around, and I talked to him all the time when we'd be in the stroller. And I just talked to him like a person. Like, I mean, there were times where I used him like a therapist, and I was just telling him stuff. But that night, you were gone, and I put him to sleep, and I was wrecked. I mean, I forget. I was looking at those pictures that day and just remembering, like, car seat and the little cup that wasn't supposed to let you spill Cheerios, but he always spilled Cheerios out of, and the sippy cups and all that stuff. And, you get so wrecked. And I got home and I was just like, I'm just going to have just a few beers and then just go to sleep. And then I ended up having more than a few beers, and I started watching the movie About Time. And it was like midnight, and I wasn't like hammered, but I was drunk. Not drunk enough to talk to myself, but I was drunk enough to audibly sob at the end of About Time, because that movie is all about a father and son relationship, and they can travel in time, and the dad gets cancer, and he's...
Spoilers much?
Yeah, well, it came out 12 years ago. And they have an option to go do one last thing.
Is there anything you want to do? I don't know. There is this one thing. A quick little walk.
I could cry right now thinking about it, but I'm not going to, because I'm working on not crying for tomorrow. But I was just like, that's where I'd go to. Like, I hope he picks that place. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't travel through time. Oh man.
You would pick that day at U of M campus? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. It was so much fun. Like, I remember just thinking like, oh, I have a buddy. Like, this is so cool. Yeah. You know, like, you were gone.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Damn it. Didn't do it. It happens easy. Usually it's much more unattractive than this, but yeah. So that happened, and then we went to that wedding. We'll shift out of the kids for a second. Well, not shift out of our kids. The wedding we went to, we had friends who we went to Pokegamo with. And that was when they were pregnant, but nobody knew.
Oh, yeah.
And I was drunk standing behind them at the bar, like, what's taking so long? And then the bartender slid a drink over to our friend who was pregnant, and she slid it to her husband and then ordered something non-alcoholic. And I just go, oh! And they both turned and looked at me, and I didn't know what to do. And I just walked outside. I'm like, I can't tell anybody.
You just ran away. They ended up telling people that night, though.
I know. Because you had already... I mean, I told you.
You immediately came and told me.
Yeah.
So they knew the cat was out of the bag.
Well, we wouldn't have told other people, though.
No, that's true. We can keep a secret.
But there are good pictures of him that night. He got very inebriated because he had been drinking for 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that he doesn't party, but he doesn't usually get like that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, because he was drinking for 2. Like... It's a good thing I caught him when I did. Otherwise, he probably would have had to go to the hospital.
I mean, I don't know about that, but...
No. He was just a little sleepy at the end of the night. But, man, that was a fun wedding
Oh
in
my gosh,
Stillwater.
it was so fun.
Junk FM.
We were at the state fair.
I know.
On Sunday. Junk FM was there.
I know.
We were like, let's go.
I saw somebody take a video, too. It looked like it was pretty good. We were in the midway.
Yeah.
Standing in line for fun houses and... spinny rides.
Actually, the midway lanes weren't long at all.
No, they weren't.
We didn't stand in line at all in the midway.
Oh, just for tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. What else happened? Oh, this was the year you had a cousin who got married. And the only thing really notable about that wedding was I haven't used Snapchat a lot in my life. But for whatever reason in 2017, Snapchat was like the thing I was using. Because I used it a lot with Jude. I'd take him to Target all the time. And I guess, I don't know why it became a thing. But there are people who I wouldn't have expected to like those that would see me and they'd be like, God, I love those Target videos. Like, guys. And I'm like, those Target videos are awesome. So all I do is push them in a cart and make them laugh. And, it's just Jude laughing.
Yeah.
But I had Snapchat and you didn't know how it worked. And so...
I still don't.
And so...
I've never had Snapchat.
Do you remember what I'm talking about even? About that wedding and Snapchat? I tricked you many times.
Oh, that you were taking a picture.
Yes.
You're taking a video right here.
Are you fucking taking video again and making me think you're taking a picture?
Is everybody here?
Are you doing it right now?
Okay, I was gonna say we should do it.
Snapchat?
Yep.
Oh.
That's why you didn't know what it was. Because everything about it looked basically like the camera app. But when you put your thumb over where you just take a picture and held it, then it records. And so, but you couldn't see the ring around my thumb, so you wouldn't know. And I did it over and over again that night.
You thought you were so funny.
Oh, it was funny. It was so funny. Yeah. And we also, that year, traveled to Chicago, childless, for a Gopher game.
That was a whole year without a trip, just the two of us, though.
Yeah.
Almost, because we went to Chicago in December, but then we didn't do
Yeah, and we went back in,
another
it was November.
solo
So, yeah, it was
trip.
almost a year.
for a whole year.
Yeah. Yeah, we took you to New York again that summer. We did do that. But this was the year that we went to Chicago, and it was a weird day because we woke up and it was like 60 degrees and rainy, or not 60, probably 50. And by game time, the temperature plummeted and it was pouring sleet or sneet or whatever they call it. What?
Ew.
What?
What did you just say?
Sneet.
Gross.
It's a word.
I hate that word.
I do too. One of those things, but it was awful and the Gophers got shut out and we all had to go buy new shoes. You didn't. Because you come prepared.
I'm not a moron who travels with a pair of shoes.
No, you're a moron who packs a 50-pound suitcase for 2 days in Chicago.
Who had to buy new shoes. The four males who traveled with a pair of shoes, or me.
We did. You win.
I actually brought rain boots to that game.
Did you?
Yeah, because I knew that it might rain.
Oh. Why didn't you tell me to?
I'm sure I did, but you don't own rain boots.
That's true. Why don't I own rain boots?
That's a good question. Why don't you own rain
I
boots?
don't know.
We should get you some.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fun. yeah, so we went out there and did that. But outside of that, it was just all Jude all the time, baby.
Yeah.
That's all we did.
So good.
Christmas. So many firsts.
Everything was a first.
First pancake. Remember, we went to Lynn's in Maple Grove and they had a giant pancake. Minnesota Zoo, Como Zoo, State Fair. Well, it wasn't his first trip to the State Fair.
First one he could remember.
Yes. Well, that he could actually experience. Because the first time we took him
not remember.
Yeah, the first time we took him to the State Fair, he was, well, I guess it was in August.
Like 4 months, 5 months old.
5 months old. And that was the whole thing where he was awake and we got to the fair and he heard people and just fell asleep and slept the entire time we were there. And we just walked around all day because we were like, he's just not wake. You would wake him up to feed him and put him back in and he would just fall back asleep.
Yeah.
In 2017 though, the trip to the State Fair, I'm quite confident was the first time he said his first swear word.
Oh yes. When you were driving,
we were parking in the same area we parked this year. Free parking on the street, and I thought I found a spot, but it was a driveway, and I said, "Oh shit!" And he just goes, oh, "Shit." That happened faster than I expected it to.
Just a life of swearing now.
Yeah,
that kid likes to swear.
It's good for you. It's good for your brain. And if we let it, my whole theory is if we let him do it here, it probably won't happen out in the world. Anymore, I don't think. We'll see.
I think that you're right because the bus is where all the kids swear because they're not allowed to swear. So it's like literally they get on the bus and they just start swearing.
What's up, motherfucker?
I'm just like, what is happening? And so today was his first time ever riding the bus. But we've been talking about kids because his friend who rides the bus told him what other kids say on the bus, and they say some very naughty words that Jude's not allowed to say, right? Even at home. Yeah. And so we were talking about it, and so I asked him today when he got home. I was like, "Did anybody swear on the bus?" And he was just like, "Yeah." And he named 2 kids, and he said the swear words they said.
He said someone said the D word. Oh, and I wasn't sure which D word he was talking about. And then he goes, but not like, because his 2nd grade teacher's name was Miss Dick. And he's like, but not Miss Dick. And I'm like, well, I guess drop that miss and I know the D word we're talking about. So, yeah.
But I really am, it'll be an interesting experiment to see if letting him swear at home will keep him from swearing on the bus because I'm talking to him about it a lot. Well, he won't do it.
Yeah, the thing is, there's so many kids in Rogers. It's only 4th graders, and so really all you're guarding against is the 4th graders who have older siblings. Those are the ones that bring the thunder in terms of really getting exotic with their use of some terminology. And he hasn't really come across anything. He hasn't said anything or even really like naturally come up with something. I'm like, where did you hear that? Yeah. Usually the stuff that what he chooses to use, I'm going, that's my bad.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of JCs and GDs. But those are all Severson family traditions. I learned those from watching sports with my dad. That's how you learn those words.
Yeah.
So, any other memories you want to bring up from 2017? When you think of 2017, just like now that we've talked about it a little bit, do you remember being like aggressively tired that year?
We talked about this last week, but I was a zombie human. For most of 2016. I was literally a zombie.
9 months of 2016.
But I feel like 2017 was a whole new a whole new world.
Yeah.
I think we were like, he was
everything was just easier.
Yeah, it was
going to go for tailgates was
fun
easier.
and happy and
he could
casual
walk
and
around.
carefree, and
man, did
he was just so sweet. I just was so in love with him. His sweet little personality.
Everybody was. I was thinking about that too when we had him in the Baby Bjorn. That was last year, but you know, by the time we got there, he was able to smile and emote to people.
Yeah.
And when I would have him on my chest walking through, like especially in the student section, the number of times I had to stop so that people could talk to him. But
he's very expressive.
Yes.
Even as a baby,
Yeah,
and
very
especially
small.
as a toddler. So I think it's just like fun to engage with an expressive.
Yeah, he was never just like you know, you see those kids. Clementine was one who would just kind of ride around, just like whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, I am in the action.
Yeah.
Now. Like, let's have some fun, everybody.
Yeah.
This was the year he met PJ Fleck twice.
Oh yeah.
Made me a lifetime fan of PJ Fleck.
Are you gonna cry again?
No, I won't cry about that one. No, but it was the first time was amazing because I was just killing time with him. It was a colder game, which was always hard because there's no solid winter clothing for kids of that age that they can really get around in. And he would get frustrated when he couldn't move. And so I carried him over. They do like a walk in. And Goldie goes in and the team. And then PJ Fleck, the head coach, was walking in. And we weren't late. I wasn't making a scene to anybody to come. I was just kind of showing him, telling him who everybody was. And PJ Fleck was walking in the tunnel. And I don't know how, but somehow we caught his eye because we were like right at the end, and he just stopped in his tracks and came back and gave Jude a fist bump. And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, I will be a fan of yours forever. Because that's just a cool thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, people say don't meet your heroes, and not that PJ Fleck's a hero of mine, but that was a really cool thing. He didn't have to do it because he had given everybody else high fives, right? There's no reason for him to come back other than he's a good dude.
Yeah.
That's kind of my diagnosis of the situation. But I remember just being like, oh, that was so cool. Like, Jude's going to be a lifetime Gopher fan now. So it's just like, I was very excited. It's so funny that I wanted a girl, but I was so excited to have a boy who was like, oh, he's going to golf. He's going to love football. Kind of, but he doesn't really want it. None of that's really panned out, but the excitement and the hope is really, really great.
Yeah, really great.
So,
I don't know. I think the football and the golf, it's he just doesn't have the right temperament yet.
yeah,
But
we'll get there.
But Thursday, when he had a friend who was engaged and interested but wants to watch the game, but in like a not just a like sit down and watch and don't talk about it kind of way, which some other people might do when he's around. This other kid was like into it but was expressive and excited. And they sat and watched the whole game. He didn't run around the stadium.
That's true. We might have turned a corner where now he can pay attention enough to like catch the good plays and get excited about them, and that holds him on long enough until the next one comes. Because there can be a lull, right? Football isn't all action all the time.
Yeah. I heard a little message for Seth and Zach. I heard him tell his friend Simon about his friend Jackson.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like, he was telling a story, and he said, my friend Jackson. I was like, oh.
It's true. He makes fast friends with everybody. Not that was the first time he met, but yeah, he makes fast friends with everybody. It doesn't take long. He does it at parks.
Yeah.
He'll say bye to people. Be like, oh, who's that? And he's like, oh, my friend, whatever. And I'm like, your friend? Like that you just met 20 minutes ago? He's like, yeah, we had a good time. It's a good dude.
Yeah. 2017 is a sure winner for me.
I think so, too.
2017 takes the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2017 was a good year. We didn't do much. Got that good video of him gagging me with the spoon.
We didn't really do anything.
No.
We did a whole lot of.
We made a
nothing.
lot of ham chunks covered in shredded cheese and broccoli.
God. Oh my god!
Almost every day for
He
like
ate ham chunks. Oh my god! Today I was trying to make him a ham sandwich, and he would not eat it.
yeah.
I think I turned him off to ham.
Well, he turned himself off. You can only eat so much, it turns out.
He ate so much ham.
Yeah. I think when I was 4 or 5, I probably ate a record amount of bologna, and I won't touch bologna. Bologna and ketchup sandwiches. Those were my jam.
Oh, gross.
Cold.
I only bought that ham because it was already diced. I didn't have to cut it up. It was all.
Yeah, it came in those little packets.
Yeah,
we just slap it onto a plate and throw some cheese on it and throw it in the microwave.
Sometimes I'd have some peas.
Yeah, we'd steam up peas or broccoli. But he would eat it all.
Yeah.
Clement, well, we'll get to Clementine.
Yeah, we'll
and
get to her.
Bullshit. 2017.
2017.
Our new winner. Now what, though? We've selected a year with only one of our children. So,
We'll see.
sibling rivalry brewing. We'll see. 2017 was a good year. You forget. I didn't think I would forget, but I forgot what he was like.
Oh yeah.
It took watching videos for me to snap back into who
Yeah.
he was. He's not different, but I don't even remember him sounding the way he sounded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the same. So it was fun to see that. The days are long and the years are short. $2017. It's a good one. Should we go check on the kids?
Let's go check on the kids.
See you next week, everybody.